Let's start our show with a special visit from a veteran of the broadcast industry here in Hampton Roads. I knew him when he was the assignment editor for WCTV 10 on Your Side News, and he now hosts a terrific radio show on WHRO. Please welcome to Thinking Out Loud, Hunter Hughes.
On the ocean, step on the stove, flesh becomes
Good to see you.
water.
Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Now that song
That's from my new record that we're going to be talking about.
very cool.
We just released it in April.
I love that song.
Yeah, that's Glenn Phillips of Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Very cool. And that is, now you do a program called Hunter at Sunrise.
That's correct.
And is that an example of the type of music that you play? Tell me about the show.
Well, actually, it's an acoustic eclectic show. And what I mean by that is I play a wide variety of music genres and usually keep it acoustic as best I can, but it's all about the mix. It's all about a mood. My show dates back to the early parts of radio when it was in the 60s and 70s when the host actually picked the music and actually put it all together. And as they went along, I put the music together as I go along. There is some planning, and I do listen to some.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
A little planning never hurt anybody.
I do listen to new music, especially before I go on the air, about a day before I go on the air. And I really am, it's important that I put new music on the show. I want to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
But there is a format to the show that I follow. But all in all, it's just a way to wake up on Sunday morning. That's what it's about.
There's a lot of good new music. I'm a big classic rock. I love, like a lot of people, I don't just stick with one variety. There's a lot of good new music coming out too.
Well, the whole idea is to discover.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only discover new music, but discover music that maybe you'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Or an artist that, wow, I haven't heard that in years. I try to put all that together in kind of a gumbo, if you will, for Sunday morning. Something to sit and read the newspaper to, or drink coffee. Now that we have it so that you can pick it up on your iPhone, you could probably go running and listen to it, and walking, or whatever you would like to do. But
well, now from what I gather, you don't just come into the studio and do the show and go home. You spend a lot of time interacting with artists, going out to talk to them, right?
That's right.
And I think you brought some photos.
Yes, I brought some photos to show you kind of the behind the scenes of Hunter at Sunrise. If you want to start the photos, this is me in the studio, and as you can see, I'm looking at music, and as I say, I kind of do this as I go along. We do have interviews at the end of the show. Usually last around 20 minutes. Most of them are live. Some of them are recorded. This is Seth Steinbach, who was on the show last weekend. He just released an album called Fire and Steel. In fact, the night before, he had done a huge show at the Norva. That was amazing. He has a new album out called Fire and Steel, and we talked about that. I want to point out that these interviews are also podcasts on my website, hunteratsunrise.com. You can listen to the show on hunteratsunrise.com.
On the radio.
Streaming, yeah. And you can download podcasts, and you can get it on demand, so you can listen to the show anytime you want.
Okay.
Now, this is Chris Smither. He's going to be on my show this weekend. He's just put out a new double album, 50-year retrospective of his music, where he went back and did all of his music that, again, and Alan Toussaint's on the show, on his album and stuff. But anyway, it's going to be this Sunday that he's going to be on the show. And I'm also showing that I go out to do these interviews.
You're right, that's you on stage?
Yes.
Are you like hosting this?
No. This is before the NARO show. Glenn Phillips was getting ready to open a Sea Level Singer-Songwriter Festival, and that's when that was done. I did an interview with him right there on stage.
Cool, very cool.
Now you can go on to the next one. And this shows, this is Nickel Creek. I did them backstage at the Norva. Awesome. And we actually set up a studio backstage. And this is Patty Larkin. I did at Harris Creek Acoustic. I do a lot of things at house concerts. I go to the artist a lot of times, and we can make it sound just like a studio recording. You can go on to the next one if you like. This is the Out of the Box Festival. I helped host with Paul Chagru for WHRV, and we raised a lot of money there.
That's Carl Wern, and I recognize some of those folks.
Yes, we've raised over $100,000 for WHRV since I've been doing this for about two or 3 years with Paul. And this is the Sea Level Festival. I also booked for the Sea Level Festival. I booked Sean Colvin this past time, and that was in April. And this is us on remote with Paul Chagru at the Acoustic Music Festival. I hosted about 6 acoustic music festivals in Town Point Park, and yeah, that's.
Hunter, I got to ask you. You've done music, you've done radio, you've done television. You've got and print too, as I understand. I mean, do you have
a long time ago?
You feel more at home with radio? I mean, because they all have their pros and cons.
Well, you know, I often think of radio as my sanctuary. It's a place where I go on a Sunday, and it's just me and my producer, Denise Pons. I want to mention my producer. And also Mike Rao, who does my website. It's all a volunteer situation. We don't get paid for this. The only pay I get really is from ads on the website and from this album that we are.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yes, the album.
Where can people get this?
You can get it on my website. Just go to hunteratsunrise.com. There's a little icon up and there's a picture of it. That's my that's my dog Jameson.
Now, does he get paid? Does he get paid, Hunter?
No, just dog biscuits. But,
all right, real quickly.
You can keep that, by the way.
Thank you, sir, very much.
You're very
I was
welcome.
hoping you'd say that. Let's remind everybody where and when they can hear you.
You can listen on hunteratsunrise.com. If you have a digital radio, you can pick it up on WHRV HD2. That's a digital channel of WHRV. And those are basic. Also, there are several apps and stuff that you can pick it on, Radio Time, Play It, all these different things.
But
you want to find alt radio on those apps. WHRV HRO has a free app you can listen to alt radio on. So.
Well, Hunter, I got to jump in here because we're out of time. But
Right.
I think as we go out, we're going to hear another song from.
Yeah, and thank you for playing this. This is David Wilcox we're going to be listening to.
Fantastic.
That's the first track off the album. All these are radio performances. They were on my show. They came into town. They were on my show. So.
Hunter, thank you for being here. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
Great. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Give in